Hi, good evening. Welcome to Mike at Night. I'm Michael Stewart. So happy to see you again. We look forward to seeing you every Thursday, just around this time, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We hope that some of you are not too tired to go to bed too early. But those of you who are on this evening, we are happy to see you. Thank you very much. I see your Elon Gooden logged in quite early. Good evening to see. It's good to see you. And we also have Candice Alexander, a number of other people logged on. Thank you so very much. As you know, we have a very interesting topic this evening. This topic is entitled, yeah, what are we going to do with friends with benefits? What is friends with benefits? So we not need to ask ourselves that what is friends with benefits, and I want you to put that information as what you understand friends with benefits mean. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section. We're going to look forward to seeing what you have to say is friends with benefits, and tell me what you think. What you think about it. Whatever is your interpretation, tell me what you think about it. Also, we wanted to share the live. Just get on to somebody and say, listen, you need to log in this evening and share the live. We are live on my Facebook profile, also on Label TV Network. You can go to both YouTube and go to Facebook to see LABL TV Network. LABL TV Network. So, we're going to talk about friends with benefit. We're going to talk about so many different things over the next couple weeks because hopefully we're going to talk about, I don't know, we're going to talk next week about entanglement and all of these new mushrooming relationships that they talk about. So we look at some of them, but today it is friends with benefits. So I want you to share the live. We're waiting for people to come on so that when we get rolling, we really get rolling. In the meanwhile, as I said, post on the chat what is your understanding of what friends with benefits mean. And once you do that, tell me what you think about it. Whatever it is your definition is, tell me what you think about it. We also have the poll that is going to be up, and that poll will ask you to respond to. Shirley Gopal, thank you very much for coming in. All of you who are on with us, good evening. Let's go to the opening ads and then we'll be right back. In the meanwhile, post your perception. What is friends with benefits? Let's go.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face-to-face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868-688-5363 or go to my website www.michaelatstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Okay, all right. So we have two programs coming up just around the corner. And around the corner is November 5th. We have how to rewire your brain. Your brain, your thought process develops your habit. And some of us have habits that we want to kick, but we don't know how to kick it. It has got to start with the way you think and you process your thoughts. So we're going to help you with that. That is November 5th, and that is in the evening time, 6 o'clock to 7:30. And you need to register by going on our website, www.michaelatstewart.com, in order to register. I hope that you will think it is important enough for you to go there and register. That is how to rewire the brain. And we have another workshop coming up also after that, which is going to be quite interesting. We did this on this radio program already, this social media program. and we are going to now do it in depth because some persons wanted some more out of it because after you are here, you can only do so much and you don't have the interaction. And that one is the psychological effects of being single for too long. Do we behave and what is the way we react in after having lived by ourselves or with ourselves for so long and then meet somebody, the kind of challenges that some people encounter when they do that, and some of the challenges that they meet even to settle down with somebody because they become hardwired in the way how they think. That program is on November 12th, and both programs are $150 TT or $30 US. Yep. If you want more information, call 868-688-5363. All right, so the poll question is up, and the poll says, have you ever considered having a friend with benefits? Has it ever crossed your mind? Yep. Let me say good evening to a number of people who have just logged in. We have my good friend Ted Jones. Yeah. Good evening to you. Who else do we have? Carolyn Garraway. Good evening. Good evening. Alice John. Yes, Carol Ramirez. Well, Ramirez. I think that's how you pronounce it. All right. Thank you very much. What is friends with benefits in your own estimation? What is that? Right? And tell me what is your perspective on it? What do you think it is? All right. So we're going to do some videos with people who have done the discussion on it, which I felt was very interesting, and I want us to go into that. Just remember, share the live, make sure that you get other people to come on. Good evening, Lindy Ann. Nice to have you, Lindy Ann Roberts. Great having you on board. All right, so what is friends with benefit? This is when two persons come together with an agreement that we will be friends to supply each other with sexual gratification, me and you in nothing. We don't have a relationship. We don't have any intimate formal relationship. It is just to get the energies off. That's all. It's just to hide the sausage. That's all. Edward James said every friendship should be beneficial. All right. Glenda, someone who meets your needs or your wants. Okay. So some people may have somebody who paying rent, but what does the person who pays your rent get back from it? What is the mutual benefit that you all get when you have to now somebody is meeting your needs, but how are you meeting their needs? And so you find that it is more popular when it comes to sexual needs because both people tend to leave with something in the end. As to whether it works or not, we're going to find out later on tonight. Monica, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Friends with benefit is being able to get something from the friends, and most time it does be money. Well, is it that the man gets the money from the woman? Answer me. This thing is hard. Is it that the man gets you money for the woman or the woman gets you money for the man? Who's really benefiting? Intimate friendship without commitment, says Deanne. Hi, Deanne. Good evening to you, my younger sister. I used to call her my little sister, but you know. All right. So in most cases, it is sexual gratification, sexual needs. And I noted that in 2013, they did a survey. And in that survey, they did what is it? University students. And they found out that between 30 and 60% of university students were engaged in friends with benefit. Now note, this is a 2016 survey. 2013 survey, 30 to 60% of persons were in friends with benefit. What do you think it is now in 2022 from 2013? You think it's 30 to 60%? You don't think this is very close to about 80%? And many of these students leave their various homes from around the world. And let's take the Caribbean. And they are off on their own now. They would have left their boyfriend or girlfriend back home and now locked down for a year, 2 years, and sometimes 3 years. The question that they ask themselves, so what I will do outside of here now? When I want to get to feel nice, but my husband or wife, my boyfriend or girlfriend is not here. Friends with benefit. James, what Edward say, Lord, I have a home university, my pick me them. Oh, well, trust me, it goes on very hectic. Veronica says friends with benefit is being able to get something from the friends, and most time it does. Right, okay, yes, I think we read that. Right. And this probably has been around for quite a while, because I would have been in Jamaica University in 1990, 91. And people will tell you that, they are having relationships with people there. And they have told the people there that it is only while I'm in university. When I finish here, don't call me. They are back home and life continues normal. Right. So this lady, Kendra Nite, conducted interviews with 25 students who had friends with the benefits. And she found out that communication was one of them. And she felt communication and the lack of it affected the friends with benefit. In this lady's research with these 25 students, she felt that these were the conundrum that she came up against. One is, should we create rules for these friends with benefit? And then if we create rules, the persons involved said, but then if we're creating rules, that means we're serious. And I don't want it to be serious. So it must not have rules. So it has no rules. And then they found out that it has no rules. So people broke boundaries. They started to behave as though we are closer than the other one thought. So rules created issues. No rules created issues. That's what she said. What a thing. Trust me, we get more and more complex with this thing. So tell me what you think. Now that you hear what friends with benefit is, what do you think about it? What do you think about friends with benefits? Talk to me. All right. Put your comments in the chat. I'm going to see it and I'm going to respond to it. Let's go to the first video and then we come back and we chat about it.
There was an entire study done on the topic in 2020, a longitudinal study of friends with benefits relationships. The researchers wanted to explore how these friends with benefits relationships progressed and what predictors made them more or less likely to end happily. So the study was published in Personal Relationships, and it suggests that a friends with benefits relationship only played out how people wanted it to 17% of the time. The research also showed that these relationships carry high levels of uncertainty, and they tend to be less emotionally and sexually satisfying than traditional romantic relationships. So in the study, 192 people were surveyed at 2 different points in time to figure out what people wanted out of their FWB situation and where they wanted it to go. So out of the 192 people surveyed, 48% hoped that their FWBR would stay the same, 25% of them hoped it would turn into a romantic relationship, 12% wanted it to transition to a regular friendship free of sex, and 4% wanted no relationship at all. The ones who were most likely to see the relationship evolve how they wanted it to were those who hoped it would end in friendship, and 59% of them got that desired outcome, whereas only 15% of those who wanted it to develop into a romantic relationship actually got what they wanted.
Okay. You all heard. And that's the people who studied it. It doesn't seem as though it has a very high success rate that takes it to anything serious. But it also seemed to also create a history in the person's life and the issue of trust, that when you look at those people who have studied it, if they know that they have been in a relationship with somebody who is in, you are in this relationship with me or with somebody, and you are in it for benefits, and we are having a courageous time, when the person sees the other person flirting with somebody else, knowing that they just had great sex the night before, under no formality, but it was good. But now that they see the person flirting, it creates a sense of jealousy, because feelings are not easily managed. Just because you wrote on a paper, we will not have our feelings involved. Your feelings don't respect the paper. You may not be able to go further, but the other person may. How do you deal with that when that happens? That's the question. So you see some relationships where there are some people who the violence turns out or a murder takes place, and you said, but we don't understand what caused this murder, and we don't understand who created, who performed the murderous act. It has been found out that there are some people who have been in this relationship, clandestine relationship, and then they want to move on now to a new friend with benefit. But the person already got feelings, the other person got feelings, and sometimes can't handle it. Dangerous Russian roulette, if you ask me. Yep. So let me see what your opinions are. Okay. Good evening, Cheryl. I'm not. Why is it you're not sharing your ideas on it? You're only waiting on me to tell you all. I want to see what your ideas are on the subject. All right. So just share it with me, please. Joy says, "This is migraine. Best leave well alone. Don't let the devil beat you." Mm. And you know, there are some people who have made some rules. I will talk. I will read out some of those rules that I've heard, that I've read, for how it's supposed to run properly. Yep. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So just put your comments in the chat below. What do you think about friends with benefit? After all, some say we all have needs. And because the person is not in a formal relationship, that they will need to get their needs met in the meanwhile. And then we even have some in the Christian community beginning to sway towards it. I was surprised when I found that out, that some people think that as long as you're not having your feelings involved, want to just give it as pure sex, you have not really committed fornication or adultery. Yeah. We good. Yes. So we will justify anything that we want. All right. So let's go to the second video then. While you post your ideas on it, just share with me what your ideas are. And let me tell you, the telephone number if you wish to call is 868-688-5363. Let us have a discussion on it. We can talk about it on the phone when we come back from the break, from the next video, and you can WhatsApp my number 688 5363. That is 868-688-5363. Tawana Thomas said, bad business. The emotional ties that come along with multiple partners is not worth it. Right? Edward said, I think that relationship has to be shaky at best. Feelings will get in the way. If you can have such good sex with somebody and your feelings not get involved, then what does that say about when you do find the right partner? Are you not going to be hardened in your sensitivity to love, where love becomes a difficult thing for you to know which is it, what is it you're experiencing, whether it is love or not love at all? Yep. So those are some of the considerations you have to make. All right. And then beside the idea of trust, would you trust somebody who you know has been in a relationship with a partner or friend for benefits and now they are settling down with you, which means they casually gave sex to somebody else just for the gratification? What are they giving it for you to you for? Is this for gratification also? Or is this because of passion and love? How do you know the difference? Let's go to the next video.
Friends with benefits also help to boost your confidence. If you are all alone, not dating anybody, or not finding a person for a long-term relationship, having a friends with benefits situation or several can actually boost your confidence because you know that you are desired by other people, and that keeps that in mind. Sometimes we get to thinking, especially after a bad rejection or a bad breakup, I'll never find the right person for me. I'm terrible. Nobody wants me. There's something wrong with me. This all or nothing thinking is like super toxic. And when you have friends with benefit situations, you have a constant reminder that somebody does like spending time with you. Somebody is interested in you physically and as a friend. And that's like pretty important because a lot of times we can get really discouraged, especially if somebody we really liked does not return the feelings. And having that friends with benefits situation to turn to can be really a good way to deal with the pain of rejection. Friends with benefits are damn good fun. Look, I don't want to be the one to say it, but it's fun to have sex and it's fun to explore physical intimacy, and we have to connect. Like, this COVID thing has made everyone see the importance of human connection. In fact, being single during COVID, it's like gotta be the hardest thing ever. You need human connection. We're social creatures. We've evolved to be together. That's how we survived. That's how we evolved. And having sex is fun as long as everybody is on the same page and you're being healthy and safe and you're really communicating clearly with your sexual partners about other people that you're sleeping with, you're practicing safe sex, you're using condoms, you're educating yourself on everything that you need to know, you're talking with your doctor and getting regular checkups, then Friends with Benefits is super fun.
All right, you heard them. I wanted to bring the balance so that you'll see that there are people who support it. There are people who give you good reasons for it. When, when I ask some people, friends with benefit because it's fun. And if you have a friend and that is a need that you have, then you can afford to do that. And I ask them, if you have a car, would you be lending it out as freely as you give the sex? I know what most people told me. No, because I can't afford, because next they bounce my car and my car depreciate because I have to go into insurance and all of that. And you hear what they're saying about the car? But friends with benefit, of course, I give my body. We have nothing connected to it. And so you could have my body, but you cannot have my car. No, sir. All right. Merlene Blair. Is this your first time, Merlene? First time I'm seeing you on. If there's anybody who's here for the first time, we'd love you to make yourself known. Lainan Benjamin said, "Good night, Brother Mike. This is Timothy Benjamin. I'm using my right phone." All right. All right. Benjamin, you need to get yourself a phone, boy. You don't borrow things. You don't borrow friends with benefits. That's what your benefit is, the use of a phone. If a child comes out of this, is it a child with benefits? Wow. Lyndon, nice question. What if a child comes out of a situation of friends with benefit? What's the situation with that child? Will you love that child just as much when you're probably were in university or you are in a country temporarily because you're stationed there to work or because you went there for vacation, what have you, and you didn't plan to get into a situation and then the woman gets pregnant? Very good question, Lyndon. Marlene, yes. All right. Welcome, Marlene. Tell me where you from. Marlene said she's the first time she's visiting. Joy said, no, that's bad business. What about the sexual diseases? Well, as you listen to that lady who gave her point there, she said that make sure you do all of your checks and all of your other um, your other guards and so on, so that you don't get yourself exposed unnecessarily. That's what she says. So, all right. So that's what she says. Let me see what you all say. What do you all think? What do you all think about friends with benefit? Is it something that is beneficial or not? Good evening, Beatrice. Good to have you. Is friends with benefit beneficial? I want to hear you. All right. So let me tell you some of the rules that some people give. We will take the commercial break, well, in just a while, and then when I come back, I will give you the rules that the people give, that those who seem to have become expert, because some people boast that it is great. Glenda says it's like a game. It is. It is. But as I said, there are some murders that have come out of friends with benefit because the person got emotionally invested in the relationship and the person did not want to take it further. Diane said it's a loss relationship. Does it cheapen sex? If sex is so given out so willy-nilly, so easy to somebody, and you have no emotional ties to the person, does it cheapen sex? Does it cheapen the person's, your perspective and perception of the person in your own eyes? Joanne Benjamin said it's a game. Wow. Do you think that Christians also take part in that game? Or be honest with me now. Be honest with me. I mean, sometimes what you do, we change the name of things so that it doesn't sound so bad. But if you're doing sex for benefit, don't you have people who have moral persuasion that is different from this, but more or less along the same line, that there is a reason we're doing this exchange? What do you call a worker who gives sex to the boss so that they'll stay employed or that they'll get a job? Is that sex with benefits, or is that friends with benefit? Is that workers with benefits, employees with benefit? Mel says yes, they do. All right. Lamimi said yes, with enough yielding to temptation. Cheryl Harley Quinn. All right. Why did my setup just shut down? Am I still on air? All right, I was just about to read Cheryl Harlequin's idea there. All right, investing in this type of relationship is a total waste. Yes, some Christians do. All right. So, a car can be replaced, but your body and dignity cannot, says Lyndon. Yeah. You know, as we talk about the Christian thing, there's a Muslim made this statement that I felt was so profound. He said, you Christians and we Muslims, we have a lot in common. And he gave an example. He says, we have many wives. You Christian have many wives. The difference between us Muslims and you Christian is that we admit it. Oh gosh, Lordy. Employees with benefits. Right. Yes. So some people actually surrender sex in the process to get something in return. All right. So thank you very much. So just share the live, invite people to come on board. When we come back from the break, I'm going to share with you some of the rules that people say that must exist here. Now, note, I'm not saying that this is something that we support. This is something that, but we are exploring the discussion because it is in the community discussion. This is what is showing that it is happening prevalent, especially among students, but it is also happening among non-students, adults, where they do it single people who feel I don't have a relationship, but I need to be able to call somebody 11 o'clock on a rainy night to just get things settled down so that I could go to sleep. We'll be right back.
Don't let the weather of the day dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face-to-face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868-688-5363 or go to my website www.michaelstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling. Okay, could I interest you in our program that we have coming up? This is a workshop on the 5th of November, how to rewire your brain. Your brain is going to teach you certain things and it is going to go into automatic habit formation. A habit that is formed is hard to break. In order to break a habit, you've got to rewire the brain. Some people have been making some bad decisions one after the next and don't know why is it they keep making the bad decisions. It might be in relationship, might be jobs, might be in the way we react automatically under stress. Then you need this program. Trust me on that. And it is just $150 TT or $30 US. But you've got to go to the website www.michaelstewart and register. Register early. My plead with you. Register early. All right, and then we have another program that's coming up for the same price, $150 TT and $30 US. This program is really helping people to understand the psychological effects of being single for too long. Those people have studied it. There are some people who have studied it and say that there are certain attitudes and behaviors that people develop where they are unyielding to change them. So it is difficult to get into the relationship with somebody who has been single for so long. They do things in a certain way, they don't want things changed, but yet they want to get into a relationship finally. But they're having some little challenges after having been there for so long. We're going to reveal that to you in this program. This program is November the 12th, and it is American Standard Time, Atlantic Standard Time, sorry. And it is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. All right. So, as we said, we did it on this program already, but we're doing it again this time to give you more time to discuss and to ventilate some of the issues. All right, we're back. I hope that you have called somebody and invited them to be with us. And I hope that you're understanding the program and you're enjoying today's program, Friends with Benefit. So we're asking you, what do you think about this program, Friends with Benefit? And then we did the poll question that was up. I hope that you had a chance to be able to answer those poll questions or the poll question. So Timothy says that he has a friend with benefit. It's not sexual or material, but for companionship. All right. That is just friend. And not friend with benefit. That's a friend. Full stop. Benefit is where the reason you and I in this relationship is because there is a benefit that is identifiable. This benefit is for this purpose, and once you remove that, this relationship is going to end. Right? So you select somebody, a nice, handsome guy who is single or may not be single, but he wants extra sex in his life. A nice young lady who thinks she's the hottest thing since sliced bread, and she needs to be able to feel endeared towards a man, whatever it is. And you all agree and say, okay, then fine, let's get together. I don't really have any serious thing going on, but you can call me whenever you need it, and I will be there before the next teardrop falls. Wow. Yep. Let me see what sometimes these friends might become too possessive after a while. That's what we were talking about. That crime has been committed by some of these people, not all of them, because there are some people who seem to think that it has worked for them quite well. I'm not too sure how soon after they have ever settled down in a serious relationship after that, but they claim that it has worked for them quite well. So I'm not going to dispute that at all. Lyndon said this kind of relationship can be detrimental later down the road when you find someone who you want to spend the rest of your life with, and they have to contend with you that you've had friends with benefit. And that's what Lyndon is trying to say here now, that gives a kind of imagery. It puts trust in question in that situation. What if while you are with the person continues a life of friends with benefit? What if you have to leave the country to go on some mission and the person you left behind decides that I'm going to be in this relationship with benefits that I had before you came along, etc. Right? So Lamimi said the song's worthless. Well, I guess to you, Lamimi, but it may not sound worthless to those people who are involved in it. All right, so let me read out some of the rules that that has been shared by those who claim this thing works. They said it works once you adhere to the rules. Rule number 1. And it also goes if you are in a relationship, especially with somebody else, while you have a friend with benefits. Rule number 1. So somebody, I hope you are recording it for those who join us late. Rule number 1. Never take photos together. So you see how the relationship already started to become very surreptitious. Because you're in a relationship with somebody, you can't take a picture with them. Right. Lyndon said it brings some serious trust issues. Right. So you see, that's number one. Never take photos. Because you know, cell phones have always set up quite a number of people in their relationships already. And so they say to guard against that. No photos. Why? Why? Because we're just in sex. Don't take no photo of the sex. Don't take no photo of a horizontal dance. And take no photos to post on no Facebook. Right. Rule number 2. I hope you all noting it. Rule number 2. If you call your friend with benefits telephone and it rings and the person hangs up, do not call back at that time or that night or that evening. Wait till the next day. Anybody knows why? This nice relationship that going along that everybody benefiting from. Why if you call the phone and the phone hangs up before the person answers, why should you not call back? Yeah, you're all right. The other significant person. Yeah, Diane is right. You're unavailable, and most likely the other significant person is there. So where do you fall? Where do you fall? And especially, let me just say something to those females who say this friends with benefit is a good thing. If you could just get somebody just to get your sexual appetite satisfied and you move forward, it has no feelings in it again after that. One of the things I hear women saying, I'm not settling. A woman should never settle for less. But you call him and he cannot answer the phone. You hang up and you had a need for that night, a sexual need. You can't call now to the next day. Did you settle? Just asking. I'm just asking questions. Jerome says it's beginning to sound like more trouble than it's worth. All right. These rules, I didn't make up these rules. I'm just asking people to assess for themselves. Most of the time, there are more than one friend involved, says Lyndon. All right. Rule number 3, as stated by those who have set it up for this thing to work. Satan should not tempt you to sleep at his house. Hear that? Satan should not tempt you to sleep at his house, seeing that you are sleeping with him or her, and you know that it is a friends with benefit. It is just pure sex, but don't let Satan tempt you to sleep in the house. I wonder if you get the irony of it. All right. That is rule number 3, I think it is. Allah help me, no man. Rule number 4. Never text love messages. If you're going to talk them kind of thing, wait till you see them. Because you know, some people, even though they're not in a relationship, they like to hear the love talk in order for the love act to take place. But if you're going to do that, don't send it by text at all. That's what they say. So if you feel to send a nice, affectionate message to this person that you are giving your body to, you should never write it. You hold it. I wonder if that is settling. I wonder if that is something that people figure is something that that is something to aspire towards? Does that make us better than we used to be? One of the topics I want to look at, I said that I wanted us to look at entanglement and so on, but there are so many topics that has to come down the pipe soon. And one of these is I listened to a gentleman who says, don't discourage this modern way some women are asking to live. Join their marches, join everything that they are doing and support them. Because everything that they're asking for is what we as men have been asking for years. And they've been saying no. Now they're giving it and demanding it. I want us to talk about that because I was very interested when I heard his video talk about it. He said, we've been asking it. And we've been saying, let's just have sex. Huh? And they have been saying, no, you have a woman. Or no, I'm not doing that because I'm holding my body. I'm not going to just be giving it away. But now they're saying, we want to give you it. He said, no, don't stop them. Let's support everything that they're doing. That's going to be an interesting discussion that we're going to talk about. And as I said, this is not all women. Like me said, I remember hearing this conversation from older men and women, even among friends and hangout partners. Yeah. All right. Down to number 5, is it? Avoid booking the same hotel every time. Once you are going to do the hanky-panky, change hotels. This is a very thriving and it requires some measure of thought processing and skill. Because after all, if you're doing this 2 or 3 times a week, wouldn't you run out of hotels? You have to repeat a hotel sometime. And you just said in the rule, don't do it in your home. So I know that you just had situations where the friends make their place available for you. All right. So you all just tell me whether this thing is making beneficial sense. You all just tell me. I'm leaving that up to you all. Number 6. Who's recording? Number 6. I'm going to hold up on 6 there and you all see if you could remind me of the numbers. Hey, where's my friend Ted? Ted, I want you to call in. I want to chat with Ted. Number 6. Do not involve your friends or your friend's friend in this relationship. Mention it to nobody. Right? Don't say who your friend with benefit is. Even if you're going to say you're in a situation with friend with benefit, do not tell anybody who that person is. Lyndon said you probably have to learn to duck, jump, tuck, and roll to get away from the significant other. All right. So I gave you all 6. Anybody has the 6? Anybody? I'm sure one of you people, there are people who usually record, write them down and write down the notes. If you don't have it, and I know that the delay is on the Facebook, let me give you the ones that I gave you already. Number 1, the rules of being in a relationship with friends with benefits. Of those what people say. This is not my rules. One, I say it's too much effort to hide. This isn't a new practice, says Lamimi. Even just to be in a normal relationship, you have so much to deal with to keep it on an even keel. This one seems really, you have to wonder and look over your shoulders every time. All right. So number one, never take photos is the rule that they say is to be practiced. If you ring the person and they did not answer or they hang up, do not call them back. The other person who might be higher up the totem pole may be present. You are down on the ladder, so you need to just step aside. 3, don't text love messages. Talk business when you text it. Number 3 or 4. Anyway, they say don't ever be tempted to do it at the person's house at all. Even if the spouse of the person is not in the country, don't do it. Number 5, avoid booking the same hotel, guest house, or place. So yeah, make sure once you're going to do the hanky panky, do it somewhere else every time. Yes. And number 6, do not involve your friends or your friend's friend in your relationship that says and sharing with them what you're doing and who is this friend with benefits. The rules that these people lay down, not my rules. So don't let nobody come back telling me, Michael have a program and he's now telling us how to have friends with benefit and the rules that we're supposed to abide by. It's not my rules. Right? I am not supporting it. I am just repeating it. And all right. So those are 7 of the rules. All right. Number 9. I can't even know. All right. Well, whether it's 7. Yes, I think this is number 7. If the person calls you, don't answer as soon as you pick up the phone. You see, this thing has to be well thought out. Just pick up the phone or put on your cell phone and keep silent. Let the other person talk first. Why is that so? Why is that when your phone rings, you are not to answer? Say hello or hello, Sandra here. Why shouldn't you answer that same time? Anybody knows? They will say some people like the excitement of the ducking and hiding. Right. Lyndon say number 4 used to be different. It used to be don't let Satan tempt you to sleep over. Okay. All right. Deanne says the coast is clear. The thing is, you don't want, if the person is flirting with somebody else, or in a relationship or in a marriage, you don't want it to be the person's other half or 3/4 or 1/3 or 1/4 or fraction being on the other end. And when you go and answer and expose yourself, the thing is, don't answer when your phone calls. Just pick it up, turn it on, and remain silent. Let the other person speak first. Sherry Ann says, people who did not know you're giving them ideas are helping them to understand the kufum and the gerrymandering and all of the things that has to go through for this great relationship that people say is such a wonderful growing experience, where in 2013 it was 30 to 60% of people doing it in universities, and now in 2022 it's probably very close to 80 something percent of person doing it, and they love it. I helping them to understand all the stress that it has to go in to have it the way how it is. Yep, that's why, Sherry Ann, I am giving it. Right. I'm not even sure I want to call out this next one in it, but this was the advice, and I will just put it in pleasant language, that if you are going to get your benefit, do not take all your clothes off. Keep most of your clothes on, take what you have to take, and you don't have to now expose too much of yourself in case you have to take off. They call it having the temple run. They call it a temple run. What is a temple run? I suspect is when a nun runs and nun has to lift up her dress or her overall in this kind of way to take off running. So they said, in case you need to activate the temple run, don't take all your clothes off. Funny, real fun. Yeah, that's what I think people say is a great life. Yep, Joy said you have to have Olympic material to run. And in this day and age where things are, people are so dangerous, I think people need to rethink this twice. Oh, and one of the rules is that don't call the person for everything. You are there only for sexual gratification. So don't call them for other things, because they likely have somebody else who calling them anyway for those other things, whether it is rent money or whether it is to take care of the children or whatever it is. The people, the people and them have them people already. You are just for that, so don't be calling for everything. Know your boundaries. And finally, they end with this and said, stay away from the people them if you know you can't abide by the rules. Those rules that we were just saying. If you know you can't abide by the rules, stay by yourself and left the people them alone. That's what they said. All right. So the poll question is: have you ever considered friends with benefit? Be honest. Christian or no Christian? I don't know who the poll, because by answering the poll, we would not get the names of the person who's answering the poll. We do not know who is going to respond and who has responded. The poll only gives numbers. Have you ever, I think that is the question that we have. Have you ever considered friends with benefit? Right. Well, they said usually friends with benefit is usually among friends alone. That's what they said. Okay, so we're waiting on your response here, people. Where is the results? Is the poll going on close? Yes, no, the poll is going on close. All right, so we're going to give you the results, and we hope that you'll join us next week. Either we're going to talk about entanglement, I suspect, or we're going to talk about this gentleman who did his video and say, let's support the modern way of relationship, because men are finally getting all the things that they wanted, that the woman was saying don't do, don't give them. Men were saying that the wives were dressing up too nun-like, they were too covered. Now they're getting a chance to see everything. Have you ever considered having a friend with benefits? Yes or no? Right, so the voting has ended, and these are the results. Thank you very much for those who have shared their honest position. 33% said yes, they've considered it, and 67% says no, sir. All right. So remember we said 30 to 60%. All right. I wonder what is the answer for the director, Mr. Sidney Jones. What is his answer to the poll question? Miss it. All right. Thank you all very much. You all have been a great set of people. I appreciate that. Let me say that this Friends with Benefits thing sounds as though it is going to get us in a lot of trouble and it's going to run relationships into a lot of violence. It also seems to now disconnect people emotionally. This is my personal view. I'm now adding in here. I'm giving you my editorial. Run people into us relationships where their heart may not be easily engaged into it because they have practiced so much giving their body without their heart that they may very well not be able to connect emotionally with somebody that they really felt is this person that they should now live the rest of their lives with. It also creates issues to me with trust issues that how can you consider now whether in your absence, whether the person who has gotten accustomed to just giving their body as a friend to a friend, and I understand it's only for friends, whether the person has not gone back to doing that because that's what they have gotten accustomed to. Yeah. And of course, if we have to go, I try not to turn the program into a religious program, but those people who understand their relationship with God would understand that there are certain reprehensible things about this kind of lifestyle. Thank you very much. I want to wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday. Make sure you are here at 9 o'clock promptly for more on Mike at Night. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Dictate your pace. I stayed cool every time I got into my vehicle, and you can too. At Tow School Center of 31 Gaskin Bay Road, Bonaccord, they specialize in auto air conditioning with parts and services catering to your car's needs. Call and ask for tows at 660-8777 or 788-3535. Tow School Center, where a comfortable ride is a cool ride.
Hey, if you are having difficulty in your marriage or in your relationship and you need someone to speak with privately and confidentially, then call me, Michael Stewart. We can do face-to-face or virtually any part of the world. If your relationship is worth saving, call 868-688-5363 or go to my website www.michaelatstewart.com. Don't wait until it's too late. Get counseling.